How's it going, Hoaglandia? It's my first time doing something like this, but I want to just kind of post a small channel update to talk about what my plans were so people weren't really wondering what was going on and what my plans were for things that I'm making here. Yesterday, Wizards of the Coast, with 30 minutes notice, decided that they were going to suspend his Winota in the historic format. I would like to start by saying that I think quick response time and implementation for banning slash suspendings or whatever you want to call them is generally a good thing. And I think a proper response time is better than the 2 weeks of limbo we just came out of. That being said, I have a lot of issues with the way in which they approached this implementation, in large part due to the fact that they set the expectation that they were going to give people at least a week's notice, and then they pivoted on that with no notice, which means a bunch of people after the last historic ban list update went and crafted the Winota deck and feeling it was safe because, assuming they were working on the previous schedule, when no changes happened to the Winota deck on that Monday, that meant if you crafted it then, you were guaranteed to get 2 more weeks with it at a minimum. Because there wouldn't be a, hey, we're going to make changes announcement in a week until the following Monday, and then the Monday after the changes would happen. So I feel like they baited and switched a lot of people, and that doesn't sit right with me. I think if they wanted to change what they were doing and how they were going to approach these bans, they should have been clear and transparent with the community ahead of time. And ideally, they would be giving us a watch list publicly, letting people know what cards are on their radar that could be banned. So that way people who are more risk averse can avoid putting wild cards into these things, because in their ban list update article they said this was something they'd been watching, but we can't know that as a community because Wizards doesn't communicate with us. That being said, in general, people that have watched my content know that I disagree with this ban personally. I think having a deck that cares about removal being the best deck in the format was a net positive for Historic. My experience playing against the deck was that it was not an absurd power level, especially when you take into account sideboards and best of three. But neither here nor there. Wizards of the Coast has made ban decisions I don't care for in the past, and they'll probably make ones I don't care for in the future. My big problem with this was their abrupt policy change with no warning. That was also a very consumer unfriendly change and left a lot of people who put money and time into these decks left with nothing, essentially, especially considering it's just a suspension and no wild cards are returned at all. Not to mention that even if they did ban it and they actually gave wild cards for Winota, people are still being left stranded with, Angrass Marauders and Fauna Shaman that likely aren't going to be good in any other competitive deck in the game. Past that, my plans for my channel here. I've been really frustrated with Magic lately. It's come through. It's definitely come through on my Twitter. I'm sure it's come through in my videos here. And I feel like my frustration with not only their change to the game, but also, the article that was posted recently about the workplace culture issues at Wizards of the Coast. I don't feel like I can make Magic content in the short term and not be bitter and frustrated with both the company and the decisions that they've made. That being said, I by no means am planning to quit Magic altogether permanently, but as many of you know, my wife and I are expecting our third child soon, and I was planning to take at least a week off when she gets here. We've scheduled a day for her to come if she doesn't come naturally. Before then, she's going to be coming Monday. So my plan for my content here on this channel in the short term is I'm going to take a break from Magic. I think taking a short break would be good for me mentally and just my overall enjoyment. So I'm planning to still stream and make some game content. I've really been enjoying Runeterra. I'm going to continue exploring Runeterra on stream and on YouTube here between now and when Haley gets here. And then when Haley gets here, I'm going to take a full week off from content. And then when I come back, I'm going to come back likely with a mix of, not likely, definitely with a mix of Magic and Runeterra. There's plenty of room to play lots of games, but I didn't want to. Last time when Wizards lame ducked the formats, there were a bunch of comments saying, "Hey Jeff, are you done with Magic, etc." And I'm not done with Magic by any means, but I think for the sake of my frustration, and honestly for the sake of just letting Wizards of the Coast know I'm not happy with the decisions that they've made, I think kind of putting my actions or my money where my mouth is important for that. In addition to taking care of my mental health and how I feel and being frustrated while doing my job. I understand that taking, a week and a half, 2 weeks off of doing Magic stuff probably means some people are going to unsub both here on YouTube and probably monetarily on Twitch. And hopefully y'all come back after we come back and do some Magic. But if not, thanks for the support in the past, and I'll be here playing games and trying to have fun regardless. Hope all of y'all, hope folks understand. Thanks for keeping me around and having this be my job. But I honestly haven't taken a real break since I started doing this as a job almost 2 years ago. So I'm kind of looking forward to a week off altogether. But I'm also looking forward to just trying something a little bit different with Runeterra. The gameplay that Runeterra has reminded me of how much I really love playing games that have a high level of player agency in them, in addition to it being like a really fast, slick digital client. And past all that, it's super consumer friendly. If you haven't tried it before and you haven't looked at it, you literally just buy the cards you want directly. There's no loot boxes, there's no hoping you get the right stuff. You just put money in and then spend money directly to buy what you want and don't have any extra crap, which is nice. At any rate, like I said, just in closing, slightly frustrated with Wizards. I'll get over it. Taking a short break from Magic content for the next few days, taking a week off of all content and get together once Haley gets here, and then I'll be back a week from Monday, which means I'll be back on Monday the 22nd with more Magic content. But until the 22nd, you're not going to see Magic stuff in my spaces. And I appreciate the support in the meantime. Hope everybody's staying safe out there. Thanks as always to our frontline responders and everybody keeping us safe during everything going on with COVID. And I hope everybody that's protesting is staying safe out there. Not that it needs to be said, but Black lives do matter. And I appreciate everybody that's out there standing up for and fighting for, the justice we really need in this country, when people like myself and my wife, who, is currently pregnant, can't be out there because of risks with COVID. So thanks, folks. Everybody